There now follows an electoral broadcast by the PDP.
Good evening. My name is Gigi Sene and I am a candidate for the Progressive Democratic Party. I have been a businesswoman for just over 20 years and previously to that spent 2 years working in the physiotherapy department at Old St Bernard's Hospital. In October 2005, after the announcement of the affordable housing scheme at the old Roger Tank site, residents of the South District got together to object to the Nelson's View project and formed the South District Association, of which I was elected chair, to campaign against this proposed private but GSD government-backed development. This whole campaign brought home to me and to all other people involved just how intransigent and arrogant a government we had. At no point in time during the campaign, neither at the beginning nor after the withdrawal of legal action, did the government try to engage us in any type of direct contact. There was at no time any contact to the extent that even the vast majority of our hundreds of objection letters were ignored. When it became evident that the project, apart from the issues raised of density, height, traffic and schooling, was going to also cause the destruction of an important heritage site, and this I can assure you it was, from the massive support we received from respected international and UK heritage societies, we suffered ridicule and derision in an effort to undermine the truth of what we were fighting for. I am reminding you of all this because this very campaign is what has driven me into joining politics, of joining a group of people who all have the same objectives of bringing to Gibraltar more democracy, more consultation, more accountability for members of our Gibraltar Parliament. Sometimes in our comfortable Western society, we easily forget that in other parts of the world, people are willing to fight for the simple right to vote for the government of their choice. We are very lucky to have that right once every 4 years, and I would encourage everyone who can to exercise that right come the 11th of October. Unfortunately, that same democratic principle should not be only about voting once every 4 years and then having no say whatsoever in anything else until the next election day comes round. The Progressive Democratic Party feels very strongly that we need to bring in legislation or further constitutional reform in order to bring these much-needed changes to our system of government, and last year published a policy paper on this, entitled Living Democracy, which if you have internet access, you can read on our website at www.pdp.gi or phone us on 49000 for a printed copy. During the course of the Roger Tanks campaign, I came across many associated planning, heritage, health and safety and environmental issues that concerned me and that propelled me into taking the step into politics that sees me talking to you this evening. I felt that if I wanted the way developments are approved and regulated to be changed, that I would have to put my money where my mouth was, so to speak, and be an active part of that change. Over the past 3 years, the GSD have allowed Gibraltar to become one big building site. Their lack of proper and consultative planning controls has resulted in a proliferation of high-rise luxury blocks, the worsening condition of our roads and increased traffic congestion from the constant stream of heavy goods and vehicles and concrete lorries using our ever-burdened road system. The result has been a lowering of the quality of life in urban Gibraltar, and the average Gibraltarian seeing the cost of property skyrocketing out of reach to a level that is comparable to London property prices. Gibraltar needs a government with the will to make the necessary changes to the Development and Planning Commission. This is the body of how we use our land and what gets built on it. In order to ensure its impartiality and to involve interested groups and the community from the outset, government-backed projects should be made to adhere to the same planning controls as all other private developments. We would commit ourselves to introducing sound, environmentally friendly design and disabled access to all new buildings. Gibraltar needs more green areas, more play areas for our children, and better access to the sea for the ordinary person. The PDP have made manifesto commitments that will bring these very necessary changes to our planning system, which we would urge you to read and consider. The traffic situation on our roads is not being tackled proactively. and has been allowed to deteriorate to a degree where it is normal to experience jams and delays on a daily basis. The huge increase in heavy goods vehicles, coupled with the increased traffic through the frontier, is having its toll on our roads. We need to better plan our traffic management strategies and take firm measures, and are committed, if elected, to find solutions to achieve this. Our heritage is one of our most important resources. It defines our history and our culture as a people and should be protected in law in order to preserve it. To this end, the PDP would legislate to introduce a system of listing of buildings to afford them protection, and of heritage zones in which conservation guidelines would have to be followed. This would help safeguard our old buildings and our heritage sites for us and for future generations of Gibraltarians. We would renew our aspiration for a UNESCO World Heritage status bid for Gibraltar and legislate to conserve the archive record of Gibraltar. The regeneration of the northern defences and the Moorish castle sites and the continuation of the work to clear and expose the city walls would form a major part of our heritage programme. At these elections, you, the voter, will have to choose how best to cast your vote. You can choose to vote for all 10 candidates of your preferred of the two main parties. You can choose to block vote against the party you want to keep out of power. In other words, choose to cast a negative vote. We would ask you to consider voting for all 6 PDP candidates, if you agree with our policies. We would ask you to cast a positive vote to help give us a voice. We are a hard-working and capable team who can make a difference to the way Gibraltar is governed. Even if you wish to vote for your preferred party and feel that that party is the best option to run Gibraltar for the next 4 years, then remember that at these elections, if you block vote for 9 candidates, they can form government. This means that you still have 1 spare vote. We ask you to give the Progressive Democratic Party that extra vote. To vote for the PDP is not, as some will try to convince you, a wasted vote. Visit our website at www.pdp.gi and read our manifesto. If you then believe in our manifesto commitments, and if you believe our team, vote for all 6 PDP candidates at these elections. These elections, you do not have to block vote for 10 candidates from the one party, so please consider your options carefully. On the 11th of October, cast a positive vote for Gibraltar. Vote for a fresh start. Vote Asopardi, vote Cruz, vote Cafang, vote Peach, vote Sene, vote Walsh. Give us your vote. Give us a vote in our Parliament. Thank you for listening.
That was an electoral broadcast by the PDP.